Hi, my name is Rob Cantrell. I'm with CRIUS Energy, and I believe that my marketing team was a little jealous that I got to come to this wonderful country and attend this wonderful conference. So just keep that in mind as I put this on. Play the video. Welcome to Cooking with CRIUS. In the beginning, there was an idea to create an energy company founded on sustainability. And that's our Viridian brand, which grew and grew to become one of the largest in the United States. Then it was time to take the next step. Viridian merged with Public Power and CRIUS Energy was born, and it was time to go public. Well, if this works so well, let's bring in some partners. So Cincinnati Bell Energy, FTR Energy, and Fairpoint Energy were added. And then we added our Texas friends, Tri-Eagle Energy. That's when I came in. And then we added a household name to the mix, Comcast. Next, there were some much needed brand refreshes, and we also added solar. And then a new face in Montana, Big Sky Gas. And wouldn't you know it, we found another company with just as many different brands as us, and we bought them. Which could have led to one silly family of brands circus act. I'm not making this up. These are all of our brands. But let's keep things in perspective. We've got all these wonderful brands, each appealing to a different group of customers. I'll talk to you about that a little bit more in a bit. And the bottom line is you take all these ingredients that you have, and when you put the right recipe in, you can make something really tasty. At least until the next ingredients show up.
こんにちは。
Hello.
And the next, and the next. So that's Cooking with CRIUS. So, how did we get there? Well, what created this CRIUS stew was 12 acquisitions in 7 years, which leads us to where we are today with 1.5 million customers. You add that, various state regulations and requirements, existing customer relationships with our partners Comcast, Cincinnati Bell, and Fairpoint, and multiple sales channels and products. So when we acquired these 11 other companies, we always had a debate on whether to keep their brand, which customers had a relationship with, or integrate their brand into our already existing brands. So based on those previous slides, you can see what we've done to date. So let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of having these multiple brands, right? One of the pros is that you have limited channel conflict. So if I want to take one sales channel into a market, I can use one brand for that, and I can use a different brand for that. And so the same commodity or the same product is not being offered at two different prices with two different sales channels. Secondly, I can have a diversified approach. So if I get one brand gets in trouble from the regulators, I can de-emphasize that brand and I can open up one of my other brands and go and get aggressive there. In some markets, there are things called default service offers. And so you just get every 5th customer or every 12th customer. So in those markets, if I have 5 brands in there, I get 5 out of the 12 customers every time it comes up, right? And finally, we kind of take that shampoo model. If you look at Procter & Gamble, who owns multiple brands of shampoo, what they found is people think that your shampoo stops working over time, right? It just loses its effectiveness. So they're going to switch shampoos no matter what. No matter what you do, people are going to switch shampoos. So what Procter & Gamble thought is, well, they might as well switch to our shampoo, right? If we're going to lose the customer anyway, they might as well switch to one of our brands. So we've taken that approach as well. If we're going to lose this customer, we might as well pick them up on another brand. But Rob, you're managing 28 brands. That's got to have some downsides, and it does. One is the operational inefficiencies. So based on the markets and the number of brands, we have over 300 permutations with things like letters that go to customers, with things like the regulations, with all kinds of customer communications and things like that. So my operations teams have to be on their toes, or else we're going to send a Veridian letter to a public power customer, or vice versa. Secondly, and I think this is one of the biggest risks, what you've seen so far at this conference have been these companies with really strong brands. They've been able to build all of this branding around, the one brand that they bring to the table. Or even Neville with his 3 brands. They can spend a lot of time really getting deep into making an image for those. For us, we have dilution of those messages across all of our brands. And finally, and obviously, customer confusion. They don't really know who you are if you're trying to be everything to everybody, right? That's the classic, what every CEO will stand up here and say, we're not trying to be everything to everyone. Well, we kind of are, which means you don't do things as effectively as you think you might be able to. So what did we do with this stew of brands? We also did what Neville talks about, and that is to segment them based on the customer segmentation. So we have our value brands that participate, Public Power, U.S. Gas and Electric, Big Sky Gas, and a brand called Value, right? So of course that's going to be a value brand. We've got our brands that we partner with Comcast and other telco providers, and we leverage those relationships they've already got the existing customer relationships, so we come in and hopefully there's a positive influence on that, and we come in and they sell for us in those channels. We've got our green brands with obviously our solar brand, as well as our original that we started off with Veridian Energy. And then finally, we've got our high-tech and our specialty brand, Tri-Eagle Energy, which is our Texas brand. And so we've talked about some of the neat things that we've been able to do with that brand, with consumer demand response, with sending out usage statements, with doing all kinds of innovative things with that brand. So what's missing on this value chain? Well, what's missing is about 35% of our load, which is the commercial customers. So in order to maintain a brand across all of our markets and something consistent from our commercial customers, you don't want to send a commercial customer with locations in 12 different states a contract that has 12 different brands on it, right? So we have CRIUS Energy. So we took the parent company name and used that for our commercial brand. And so all of our commercial customers will know us as CRIUS. And so we've taken this hodgepodge of stew and tried to make it into somewhat of a organized structure. So as you can see on this list, we are long value brands, right? We've got a lot of value brands. We don't need this many value brands. So over the next couple years, we will start to consolidate these brands under one name. What that name is, we don't know yet, but it'll be something probably not value, power, and gas. But so we're trying to move our customers, trying to move our segmentation, trying to take all of this hodgepodge of brands and put them together. So I think Dr. Larson invited me more as a cautionary tale for you guys and things to think about when you're doing acquisitions, when you're growing, when you're doing those type of things. That's the CRIUS story, and we're very happy with it, but it is definitely challenging every single day. Thank you.